The elder rubbed his mechanical leg as he stared at the youngster in front of him. It didn't matter what the doctors and nurses said. The damn thing had cramps and a maddening itch that couldn't be scratched. So, you've been assigned to be a personal assistant. Not just that, but to a human? You poor bastard. I thought you liked humans, grandfather. Oh, of course I like them. Most are so personable that it's nigh impossible to dislike them. That doesn't change the fact that each and every one of them is crazy as hell. Remember this, there is no such thing as a sane Death Worlder, but even other Death Worlders think humans are around the bend. He leaned forward, his eyes boring into his grandchild's. You'll love them. Think of them as your best friends. Know for a fact that they would lay down their life for you, but that won't change the fact that one day you end up naked in an alley with Thikrung howling for both you and your best friend's blood. Only an aluminium can for a weapon and the damned human laughing like a maniac, because to them, an over 2 meter tall carnivorous reptile insect hybrid wanting to devour the two of you is the most fun I've had in a while. Is that what happened? The youngster gestured towards the leg that bothered the elder so much. Sit down and shut up and I'll tell you a story. It's about the best, most loyal friend I've ever had, who is also the most crazed individual I've ever met, and who had a knack for getting us both into trouble. The elder's eyes glazed as he recalled the memory. We had just joined the Galactic Federation, just about the same time as these humans. According to their testing, at that time they tested new races to help them find their feet in the galactic community. The common thinking back then was that it wouldn't do to have a warrior race stuck in the job of psychiatric profession, or a race that was more inclined to arts doing manual labor. Bunch of bullshit, if you ask me. Anyway, according to their tests, our race was best suited to clerical work, and humanity broke the test results. They were all over the place. Their specialty, it seemed, was generality. The aggression and strength required to survive a death world made them excellent soldiers. The ingenuity to rise to the top of the food chain on said world, without claws, fangs, or other natural advantages, made them great scientists. That same large brain and intellect made them good at clerical work. Humanity went a long way towards getting rid of the testing system. Anyway, I have been assigned to a human merchant. Now, we're herbivores, rarely, if ever, eating meat. Most of the galaxy is either herbivore or carnivore. Humans, again, messed up the system, being omnivores. Again with a generalization. Anyway, I had already heard rumors of these creatures. Supposed to be stronger than all but a handful of species, quick-witted and just all-around super beings. I was curious and couldn't wait to see for myself. I pictured a reptilian or perhaps an insectoid, but instead I saw a primate. He was so tall. Would you believe that most human males stand nearly 2 meters tall? And bulky. Broad shoulders. Looked like they were evolved to throw objects, but his feet were strange. As was the fact that he was sparsely haired except for the top of his head. His feet were broad and flat, and he was nearly hairless, suggesting an amphibian nature. But his upright posture and long legs seemed to suggest adaptation to living on plains. Again, that was because even in their evolution, humans were generalized. My new companion looked down at me and grinned. Luckily, I'd been briefed that this was not a threat display, but rather a show of amusement, happiness, or camaraderie. Between you and me, even after all these years, it creeps me out. He paused, as his grandchild tittered out a laughter. So, they really bare their teeth to show happiness? Oh, you'd be amazed at the strange things humans do. They ingest powerful neurotoxins as recreation. What? A few days after I joined him, John, that was his name. By the way, John decided that I needed a break from cooking, and decided to make us a delicacy from his home planet, something called chili. The elder shivered. It smelled great, but as soon as I took a bite, I knew something was wrong. It felt like a supernova going off in my mouth. My sinuses completely emptied, and solar plasma raced down my throat to ignite a thermonuclear warhead in my stomach. You see, humans flavor all their food with capsaicin. Isn't that, what? Yes, it is, in fact, a bioweapon, an outlawed for use in all but a handful of barbaric, brutal regimes. How did you survive? Luckily, my employer had a food allergy and had epinephrine on hand. That bought us enough time to go to the hospital. It seemed that there was enough of the toxin in me to kill about 100 of our kind. The elder laughed at that point. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Besides generalization, their greatest strength and weakness is empathy. They see each and every species they encounter, from reptilian to insectoid to techno-organic, to anything in between, as a fellow human being. They won't even be trying to kill you. And then you have new, improved mechanical body parts. He laughed again, bizarrely. It sounded like with fond amusement. I'm tired now. I'll tell you about my leg another day. And yes, it involves your Uncle John.